Okay, so we'll get started here. So again, we're doing systems of equations. So there's a couple different methods that we had. We had elimination method, which was the assignment we had on Wednesday. So if you have not submitted that, that's late. It's due. We had substitution method, which we've been kind of doing this week. I think we started on Tuesday this week. So you're going to get your assignment on that. That'll be due this coming Tuesday. So that's when the assignment will be due. We have one more section that we have to cover in this chapter. We're going to do that Monday and Tuesday next week, and we'll probably do maybe an in-class activity on Tuesday where we'll just do it in class. You'll submit it to me. It's going to be reviewing a little bit of deductive and inductive reasoning. So it's kind of a nice little review unit to cover, our basis on, those story problems we've had, in the beginning of this unit where we talked about, inductive, deductive skills, if you can interpret things, but we're going to go back to that. So it's going to be kind of a nice little review, and then we'll start reviewing for the test next Wednesday and Thursday, and test in here will be on Friday next week. So so keep that in mind. For those who will be, not in class, so that's a lot of you at home, I'll probably just do the test online. I'll have multiple versions of it. But I'll just, basically what I'll do for those at home, I'll just share it on my screen with you, and then you'll just do it on a little piece of paper, and then you'll email it to me, like you'll attach it on a picture, you'll take a picture of it, and you'll submit it back to me on Google Classroom. So I'll make a little link for it, so you will attach it and send it to me. So I'll have a different test for every section and whatnot, so don't try to send it to somebody else, because we'll have a different test. They will have different numbers. Now, how that works for those who are in here, if you've ever had to take a test from me, basically what I do is, I think some of you actually have before, basically what I do is I assign you the test, I'll share it with you on the screen, and you'll be working through it as everyone in the room is working, and then what I want is I want your camera angle at an angle where I can see just your hands working. I don't need to see anything else. I don't need to see the paper. I don't actually want to see that. I just need to see your hands so I can see that you don't have a cell phone anywhere near you. So if I see a cell phone, you're gonna have to put it away. You can have a calculator, but not a cell phone. So I just want to make sure that your hands are always in shot. They never dip below anywhere, so I can't see what you're doing. You got to have them in front of you the whole time, so I can see they're not using notes and whatnot. So, but yeah, that's how I do it. It works. I've done it before, so. Don't feel like it's a new thing. I've done it for other classes, and I've done it for people in here actually. So once you have to take a test, so that's what we'll do on Friday next week. So it works. It's not convenient, but you just do it on a piece of paper and submit it to me. This test, I'm not going to put vocab on it, so just alleviate your stress level. No vocab on this one. The reason why is that I have too many people online. It's hard doing vocab online. I understand that, so I'm gonna avoid the vocab on this chapter test. I was going to put some stuff about properties, but we have a lot of stuff to cover anyway. So that'll hopefully bring up the scores a little bit on this test. We don't have to worry about vocab. So okay, let's jump right in. So we have 3 problems I'd like to cover today, and then I'm going to turn you loose, and you can work on your homework on your own once we're done with these notes. So here's the first example. So all right, let's see. First example, here it is. All right, 3x plus 4y is equal to 17, and y is equal to 14 minus 4x. Okay, just like before, this is going to be, this particular problem is what you're basically doing in the homework all day. It's a substitution problem. In fact, I'm going to write that down. This is a substitution. It's not a special case or anything like that. This is just a pretty normal one. This is substitution method. This is what I want to see in all of your problems today. Thought we better do one at least. If we need to do more, that's fine. I'll make up another one if we need another one of these. Just make sure that you at home and you guys in here are comfortable with this stuff. But substitution method, how we know that is that they have a letter by itself. That's what you should identify. So they have the y, over by itself. You can see that, and then the idea is that now that we know the y is by itself, this is the stuff that I'm plugging into the other equation. I'm plugging this up here. So that's just something you need to be able to identify. So what letter am I taking out of that top equation? Y. The y, you're right, because it's the letter that was by itself, right? That's the letter you're taking out. So that's how I always think of it. So here's the top equation, and I'm taking out the letter that was by itself in the bottom equation. So the y was by itself. So I took out the y, and I'm plugging in the 14 minus 4x into that location where the y was located, because y's are 14 minus 4x's. That's substituting. You're substituting something of equal value into the problem up above. Okay? All right. So we'll keep going here. So we'll multiply the 4 through the parenthesis here. So we get 3x plus, now, I don't actually know what 4 times 14 is. I don't have that in my head. Is it 64 or something like that? 14 times 4 is going to be smaller than that. 56, wow. So 14 times 4 is 56, minus 16x is equal to 17. So that's, multiplying the 4 through the parentheses, you have the 17 on the other side. Now, we have to combine like terms. So there's, what item do I need to get rid of? Yeah, I got to move that over, right? So we got to get rid of that 56. We're going to drag that to the other side, and it becomes subtraction. We're going to subtract that 56 over. That's kind of the hard part for some people. They don't understand like what you need to get rid of. It's just constants go to the other side, x's stay on the one side, and then we just solve, right? So we're on this particular problem, we're going to get negative 13 x's, because 3 minus 16, and then 17 minus 56, what is that, 39? Yeah, negative 39. And then we'll have to divide last. So we divide both sides by negative 13, divide by negative 13, so this will turn out to be positive, and it turns out to be a 3. 39 divided by 13 is perfectly 3. So kind of a nice number. That was really nice. So we got a 3 for an x. X's always go first when you write your coordinates down, and then y's go second. And then what do we have to do with the 3? Plug it back in. It has to go into one of the original equations. I always recommended for you guys, always plug it into the equation that was by itself, the y, or the whatever letter was by itself. Plug it into that one. The reason why, if you plug it into this equation, you won't have to actually rearrange anything. When you plug that x in, I can just take out this x right there and plug the 3 into its spot. So that's kind of the easy way of doing it. So we're going to get 14 minus 12, and that ends up being a 2. Kind of a nice number. And that's kind of the whole goal, right? This is what I'm looking for. Looking for that coordinate. When you submit your homework today, you're going to just take a picture of it, submit it to me on Google Classroom, just of your homework. So you just put it on a piece of paper. You don't need any graph paper or anything like that. I do want to see the work. I do want to basically see what I'm showing you here. This is kind of what I want to see. Maybe not in so many steps. Some of you are like really quick. You can do some shortcuts every now and then. That's fine. But I want to see the majority of the work, to see kind of what we need to fix, how we need to do it, what I need to review with you before we get to that test day. So, but yeah, this is all of your homework. You're going to get 5 questions just like that today. All right. For those at home or anyone in here, is there any questions currently? Okay, nothing. All right. I'm going to do 2 more examples. We're going to do the special cases. Again, I'm not going to put any special cases in the actual in the homework today. Sorry, I'm not going to do that. I want to keep these pretty basic. So. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I better submit attendance before the office yells at me. Oop, oop. Okay, there we go. Submitted. Perfect. Okay, let's jump right in. Let's do the next one. Sorry, got distracted. All right. So the next one, this is going to be a special case. Now, when we do the special cases, it doesn't matter what form we use. So don't feel like, oh, we always have to use elimination. Oh, we always have to do substitution. We don't. It could be just graphing, and you'll see that it's a special case. So here's my first one. So first problem out of the last 2 here. So. These are the special cases. These are not going to be on the homework. I think you better get to know these. I'll probably put one of these on the test, though. It might be the last question, or one of the last questions on the test. It could be the second to last question, maybe. So, but yeah, it's a special case. I want you to know how to do it. It's basically just a nice review of the last 2 that we did, elimination and substitution. But it's the special cases. Okay, so on this particular problem, I'm probably not going to do substitution here. The reason why, I don't have a letter by itself. If you kind of look up at this problem, they don't just have an x by itself or a y by itself. They kind of have some numbers everywhere. So I'll probably make this an elimination problem by kind of rearranging this thing. So the top equation I'm going to leave alone. That's already in kind of the right form. But the bottom equation, I'm going to move that negative 2y over and make it a positive 2y when it moves across the equal sign. Now it's in the right form, right? It's stacked. X's, Y's, equal signs, numbers. It's standard form, that's what they call it. Standard form always looks like this. It's ax plus by equals c. And again, what identified that was because of the idea that they didn't have a letter by itself. I mean, I could have got the letter. Maybe I wanted to divide that bottom equation where I moved that 2y. Maybe I wanted to divide everything by a 3. I could have done that. So, I mean, if you divide everything by 3, you would have got the x by itself, and then you could substitute that back into the other equation. You could have done that. That you'd have a fraction in front of the y, but it would still work, and it would actually work out to be the same number. So, I mean, yeah, we could have done that. So, so yeah, if you guys want to see that, just let me know. But anyway, we'll keep going with this. We have to pick a letter. So, what do you guys want to choose? You want to pick x's or y's? X's? Okay, let's pick the x's. All right. I need to make these the same number. So I could turn them both into 9s. I could turn them both into 18s. Okay, let's do 9s. Yeah, that's pretty good. 9s. I'm going to multiply the bottom row by 3. The top row has already got a 9. I'm going to leave it alone. It's already got a 9. I'll leave that one. But the bottom row, I'm going to multiply everything by 3, so I get a 9x. That was the whole point, right? We're going to get the x's to match. And then we get a 6y, and then we get a 36 on the other side. And then I need to make one of the rows negative. So I'll probably make the top row negative. It doesn't really matter. Just make one of the rows negative if the letter you chose is an opposites. When I add straight down, this is 0 x's. Those canceled. 0 y's. And I have a 16 on the other side. So I have 0 is equal to 16. No solution. So that is definitely not true. So this is a no solution. 0 does not equal 16. That's how I can kind of identify it at the very end. So yeah, definitely no solution. Again, the reason why we talked about this yesterday was this. The reason why this has no solution is that these are parallel lines. Right? That was a terrible. It's parallel lines. When you draw them, they never cross. They're just kind of going in the same direction the whole time. So. All right, so there's your second to last question. Last question of the day, here it is. Oh, I'm not going to graph. Last question of the day, same exact thing. This is a special case. 5x minus y equals 8. And 10x equals 2y plus 16. So. All right, now, I'll do this by any method you guys prefer. I can do it by substitution. I can do it by elimination. I'll give you guys kind of the options. Is there one that you probably prefer, or one that you probably identify with that you think we should use on this one? Is there any specific type you'd like to do? Substitution, elimination? I can do either one. Substitution. Okay, let's do substitution. Interesting. All right. So on the top one, okay, here's how I would do it if I needed to do substitution on this problem. I would probably move this y across, and I'll move this 8 over here to get the y by itself. Okay. So if I move the 8 will become negative, and if I move the y to the other side, it becomes positive. So I got the y by itself. I mean, I can rearrange any way I want. So now that you can see this y is by itself, this is the mess I'm plugging into the other equation. Maybe on the top, maybe on that bottom equation, you want to divide everything by 10. I don't care. I wouldn't. I think this is just probably easier to do this. So, okay. So we're gonna plug this stuff into that bottom equation, and it's going into the y location. because that was the letter that was by itself. So 5x minus 8 plus 16. So I took out the y, plugged in the 5x minus 8. We're going to have to distribute. So I'll distribute the 2 over this. So we've got 10x is equal to 10x minus 16 plus 16. Yeah, move this 10x over. Let's see. If I move the 10x over, it becomes a negative 10x. And I have negative 16 plus 16, which is 0 on both sides. So is that true? Yeah, so yes, this is an infinite solution. It is true. It's an infinite solution problem. It's 0 is equal to 0, so yes, that checked out. So it has an infinite number of answers. The reason why, the lines are literally on top of each other. They're not parallel. They're literally the same line. They're called coinciding. In fact, I'm going to put that. They are coinciding lines. The lines coincide. They lie on top of each other. So there's an infinite number of solutions to this problem. Okay, homework's already been submitted to you. It is it's a worksheet. It's 5 problems. You're going to be doing substitution method to them. There's no special cases, so there won't be any infinite solutions. There won't be any no solutions. It will always have an answer. They'll be nice, clean numbers. I made sure of it. I double-checked them. They're going to be nice, clean. So if you don't get a clean number, you could be potentially doing something wrong. So double-check that. Next week we'll start doing some notes for Monday and Tuesday. We have the last section of this chapter, this unit 3 that we're in on deductive and inductive reasoning for algebra and stuff. So we have one section left, and then we'll start reviewing on Wednesday and Thursday for the test for next Friday. So keep that in mind. We have a test next Friday, and those who are at home, you'll take the test at home, so it'll be pretty easy. I'll need to see the camera shot. Will have to show your hands. If you're looking at my little camera there, I have to see your hands as you work on your paper. So I don't want to see your hands dip below a desk, so I can't see what you're doing. So, but yeah. Okay, question. Yes, you may. So, yeah, there you go. So those who are online, if you guys are watching me, I'm going to leave this up here for a little bit. If you want me to scroll back to the actual slide that had normal substitution, like a normal answer, I'll go back to that one. But you guys are free to log off if you want. You can go work on your homework. I submitted to you. I believe it went on the Google Classroom already, and that's how you'll have to submit it back to me. But yeah, so there you go. And I'll see you guys next week. I'll just leave this up, so if you guys need the notes. Boom, they're all gone. Okay, I'll stop the recording here.